What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 265 of the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast. In the show this week, the Division 2 raids and updates, Gears 5, Alinity throwing pussy around. Pussy cats, that is. Diskless release date and price, Marvel switches it up, Comic-Con gave me a bit of wood, Todd McFarlane kind of does too, and much, much more. Editing Lucas, play the track.
3, 2, 1, 0.
We recommend wearing headphones.
This is the Aussie Gamers
Experience. News, reviews, and outlandish fun. Experience it all.
Thank you for tuning into the show for this week. Today is Monday, the 22nd of July, 2019. I am your host, Snoogs, and joining me for hosting duties for this week is the one and only Grejio. How are you, bro?
I am feeling older, but I'm feeling well.
Feeling older. We'll
Yes.
get to that shortly. Also joining us is the man behind the edits, Mr. Lucas.
G'day! Hello, everybody, and hello to our live listeners. It has started off rather risque this week.
Just a little bit. So, as of course, well, you having fun this week, mate? Thanks for joining us.
I'm sorry. It's just these gifs that get put into the live chat. Radicus,
I'm trying not to look at it. I'm about to get
Don't
to the
look.
people in the live chat.
don't look. Just don't look.
It's over the other side. I don't want to look at it yet. It's on the other screen. Well, we're going to jump into it. Grejio, happy birthday for the weekend just gone, good sir.
Thank you very much.
Was it your birthday too?
It was.
Yeah.
Jesus. Happy birthday, buddy.
July is very busy for birthdays, at least in my
Yes.
family.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you very much. So yeah, I leveled up. on Saturday. 1 year closer to Radicus.
Until he takes off again.
Yeah.
Speaking of, welcome in the live chat to Pickles of Brian, Radicus, and Uncle Chunt. Welcome. And now I see what you're talking about. I shouldn't turn that way. Let's jump into some This Week in Gaming, shall we? We're not going all that far back this week. 2016. A game that we've all had. I'm pretty sure we've all actually had a play of this. Human Fall Flat was released.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I finished that. That's a bloody good game.
Yes.
Yeah, so I didn't write much information about it because I thought I'd actually get it from you guys because you've played a lot more than I have. So It was published by Curve Digital and developed by No Breaks Games. What are some of the things you guys like to... Don't look in the chat again.
I'm having deja vu. I'm pretty sure I've said this before.
Yeah, probably. Some of the stuff, Human Fall Flat, what were some of your standouts for it?
Well, look, I just love the... sorry, what? Apart from...
Oh,
Is that what you were saying?
apart from the flailing little fat dude.
Well, it was just a really intuitive kind of game where it was all physics-based, and to work out puzzles, it was one of not very many games where you would work out how to do a puzzle based on how you would probably do that in real life, and it would work in the game because all of the mechanics worked around real-world physics as opposed to, silly video game style things. You actually just went around and did things, and you think, oh, if I do this, this might happen, and it does happen that way. Pretty cool. It was, I don't know, just I didn't even know why I picked that game up. I remember I didn't even know what it was, and I played it, and it absolutely blew me away. Awesome little game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look, I just liked, like Luke said, it was really intuitive in how the puzzles played out. Like, you really did. There were some times where you could just be just a simple creature and things would work out. Like, it would be simple, like, had to open a door, and sometimes just running through it, just charging headlong into the door was enough to make that work, but I found it's a good concept. Like, you move your arms and you can grab them independently, so you can climb up things, and and just the shenanigans you get up to. Like I played with Rem, and we'd run around and like grab each other, and just try and run in opposite directions and play tug of war with each other.
And then you play the game, yeah.
Yeah, and then we play the game.
Sexy time.
Anyway,
but yeah, there was just look. You can't count the amount of ways that you can solve a level because I've gone back and played the game and done it a different way and still managed to get the same result. So cool. Like there was one where I catapulted myself over this castle wall. And then there was another one where I instead of catapulting, I went over the bridge and went up to the fence and picked up like a pole and put the pole through the gates and just flipped the latch on the other side. Because if you get thrown over the fence, you can open the lock from the inside and let any of your co-op partners in. But then from the other side, you can just use a stick to hit that latch and open it, kind of like you could have done in real life. It's that kind of game where it's probably countless the amount of different ways that you could manage to do it. Awesome game. Very good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. So let's jump into the meat of the show, shall we? On to some game talk.
I love the meat.
Lucas, Gears 5 you wanted to talk about.
Yes. All right. So Gears of War 5 had its tech test on the weekend just gone. And I've got to have a shout out there to Uncle Chunt because although I was expecting it, I'd forgotten about it. And good old Chuntmeister puts up a tweet going, well, looks like I've got my weekend sorted, and had like a little picture of the Gears of War 5 tech test. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, beautiful. Reminded me, jumped on, downloaded it, and completely forgot about playing it. So I at least downloaded it onto my Xbox One X, but I remembered today because I was writing down a list of all the things that I'd played to put them on, to talk about on the show. I'm like, oh, because we're in Australia, it probably is still running today being Monday. So I booted it up today, played a game, it takes you through like a big tutorial thing. And oh my God, 4K 60 frames on the Xbox One X. It played like I was playing it on my high-end PC. Actually, I think it was probably playing it better than my PC would run it in 4K. It was beautiful. But anyway, you go through the tutorial and then you can go into a multiplayer match because obviously that's what the tech test is all about. Had no issues with it. The graphics are sensational. It runs absolutely smoothly. And my first match I played as the Horde or the Locusts, and I won my first game. So awesome. After I won, and I actually did quite well. I had like 20 kills and I think 11 deaths. So that was pretty damn awesome. And I turned it off after my first game. I thought, I've won. That's fantastic. I've experienced it. I'm not going to ruin it because, no, my luck, the second game will throw me into a game with actual players instead of bots. But anyway. It's good. It started off with 3 bots on the other team, but I think there's like 10 people per team. So it was a couple of bots, but no, there was actually real people in there. But my team, we were getting slaughtered, mind you. It was like 25-5, and then we came back and won. We smashed it. But yeah, that's a very, very good game. And here's a neat little thing that I noticed they changed, and I'm so thankful for this. R1, no, not R1, that's PlayStation. RB, so the bumper, is now, you hold that in to use the chainsaw instead of pressing B, which I felt never worked in the old games. And another thing, you can reload your ammo even when you've got a full clip of ammo. And the good thing about that is, because if you do a perfectly timed reload, your bullets that are in the mag do extra damage. So even if you've got a full mag, you can get that extra damage by doing a quick reload. So good. So good. But yeah, Gears 5 I reckon is going to be a good game, and that tech test was good. It was promising, very promising.
I'd be interested to see how it looked on the S.
Yeah, I didn't try it on the S. I would imagine kind of potatoey. Because it looked too good
most do.
on the
most
X.
do, yeah. Even Even Minecraft looks potatoey on my Minecraft Xbox One S.
Oh yeah. The S is a bit of a potato at the moment. But anyway, just one last thing. Forgot to point out something that I'm not really all that keen on for the Gears series. It's too colourful. This is a small gripe, and it sounds a bit picky, but it's very pretty and colourful. You know, people complained about the original one being very drab, dark, and greys and browns.
Yeah.
The new one is just a little bit too beautiful. Like it's bright colours, and yeah, it just looked a bit pansy. But anyway,
is it neon-y?
No, it's not neon-y. No, it's not. No, it's not like Cyberpunk or anything like that. No, but
just because that seems to be very much the flavour at the moment.
No, they haven't gone down that path. No, it's just that they've in the part that I played, it was like a training simulator for the character, which is your tutorial, and it's run by Damon Baird, and he's just got all this fancy electronics and robots running around, and they're all like shiny, bright, and colourful stuff. And it just, I don't know, just looked a little bit too pretty. I like my Gears to be gritty, yeah. But anyway, look, that was just one section of it. I'm sure it's not all going to look like that.
Alrighty. Grejio, Pixel Car Racer.
Yeah. So I've been playing Pixel Car Racer. It's a mobile game. I've been playing for a long time now. It's I don't know how long, years. But I thought I'd talk about it because I really enjoy it, and I wane in and out of it. And at the moment, I'm on a waning in process. It's a pretty simple game. You pick a car, you build your car, you can modify your car, and then you drag race your car for money and rinse and repeat, essentially, until you can buy more cars and you can drive on the streets. You can do all sorts of things. But yeah, it's a simple game. It's got a lot of cars, and I'm a mobile game especially, and they're all real cars. Like, there's no fake cars. They're all based on real cars. They obviously don't have the license to name them, but they're quite clear what they are. And there's a couple of Australian cars in there, which are pretty cool. So I've got 2 HSVs. I've got a GDS and a Maloo. I also have a Monaro, but there's also XB Falcons. There's an XC Falcon, XA Falcon. And then there's just a plethora of European, American, and Japanese cars. There's a car there for everyone, I reckon. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. The tuning is quite in depth. You can change everything you can do engine swaps. You can put turbos and superchargers on them, intercoolers, nitrous, ECUs, 2-stage kits. 2-step kits, and a bunch of other stuff. Right? Yeah, totally. There'll be a few people going.
I've heard you like the odd car racing game. It's just
I know.
A little thing I've heard on the grapevine. Now, seeing as though they can't name them exactly what they are they calling the Holden Commodore a Chev?
No.
Do they do that?
No, but you can, when you buy it, you can name the car and call it whatever you like. Right. So if you want to call it a Chev, by all means, just type the word Chev and it's done.
Like the HSV Commodore Club Sport. No, we won't go there. the
HSV Camaro. Thank you, Uncle Chan, for your comment there. I apparently have the prettiest Forza Instagram account. So thank you. Though apparently Rakers calls it a bucket of shit, so screw you. Anyway, look, it's fun. It's free. I'm not sure if it's available on Android, but it's definitely on iOS, which is what I'm playing on it. If you like car games, this is a good one. You can just pick it up, play it a bit, put it down. I do it all the time. I pick it up, I play it for a bit, put it down. Usually just enough to do like a couple of drag races, just earn some money, and then move on. And then when I have enough, I buy another car or do something else. So yeah, and you can create liveries on it. So, which I've started doing.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You just sniff that shit out, don't you?
Well, I'm not sure if I sniff it out or I just find it and then I come for the game and stay for the liveries.
This man needs some variety in his life.
Yeah, well, I've got a bit of variety for you. Get your
Sure.
your brain a bit ticking. Being a mobile game as well that I've been playing a little bit lately. It's called Tiny Room Stories, Town Mystery, and what it is you get a little scene will pop up. So, for instance, this one, it starts off with you drive into town. There's a barricade down across the road. A sensible person would just drive around it, but no, you've got to look for things, and you've got to work out how to get into a room, and then you've got to spin around to see what's in the room, and you've got to find, and you sort of got to puzzle and work out how to sort of progress along through it. And it's actually really, really well done. So
What's
you'll
it
have
called?
Tiny Room Stories, Town Mystery.
So it's available on Android, and iOS has a beta at the moment.
Okay.
For this one?
Because all I can find is Tiny Room Escape Game.
Yeah, not that one.
Yeah, if you jump on, there's like a website for it. You got to jump on for the beta for the Apple version. So
Okay, well, I'll put a screenshot. I'll put a screenshot up in the Discord for anyone that wants to have a look at it. It's a game that's really got me thinking about how to get around things. So it's got sections where you need to go forward. You've got to find out what, not how to open another section of the room, but you can't work that out because all the lights are on. But then you turn the lights off, and there's the code that you need is written in glow in the dark ink on some books. So it's got a nice way to make you think. I think that's probably what I'm getting at. It's good fun. Get your brain working a bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Very good.
Yes. Good stuff. Well, Lucas, I want to hear
Yes.
about Marvel Alliance.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That one is on the Nintendo Switch and nothing else at the moment because it's an exclusive. I picked it up the other day, the day that it was released, and I've played a fair bit of it now. That's a good game. One of the biggest things that I noticed with it is it's actually quite it's a very good looking game for the tiny little Switch. It plays quite well. You know, it's got its frame drops when, you know, all hell breaks loose because you can do these like ultimates where just mayhem on the screen that just annihilates everything, and it sort of dropped a little bit. But that's about the only sort of flaw that it has. But the game's actually pretty fun. Have you guys played the Ultimate Alliance games before?
Yep.
no.
No? Yep. And no?
Yep.
How am I not surprised it doesn't have a lot of liveries in it? So basically it's like superhero Diablo, if you will. You run around, you take out enemies, you can switch out your characters. So it's actually, you know what, a better way of explaining it is it's a Lego game, but without the Lego. So it's that kind of game where you can run around, you kill heaps of enemies, you get boss fights. The story's actually going quite well. Even though it's kind of getting a little bit long in the tooth now, the whole, what are they called? Infinity Stones sort of thing, where it's that story again. Thanos is trying to get the stones, and it's your job to recover all the stones to stop him from doing his thing. But for what it is and playing that on the go, I'm blown away that it runs as good as it does on a Switch. So yeah, pretty damn good game. The character roster is really cool. Like there's like a Lego game. There's like a shit ton of characters that you can unlock along the way, and you can switch them in. You got a team of 4. It is exactly a Lego game, except with not Lego graphics and no Lego. That's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Yeah, sick game.
Cool.
It is a button masher. It really is. Radica says there's too much button mashing. If that's not your thing, where you just like mayhem and just button mashing and shit, yeah, probably not a game for you. But it gets hard. You can't just button mash and get away with it. You actually need to use a little bit of finesse and pick your
I
characters.
was lucky enough to play one of the older ones with the guys distributing it, and the first time they let me win, and that was quite evident because from then on in it was just absolute slaughterfest.
What do you mean they let you in? What did they do?
Well, they let me get that we're playing 2-player, and they just let me sort of get in front of everything, and then they went absolutely nuts.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Well,
and it was quite evident that you can't button mash.
No, look, early on, that's pretty much what you'll do. But when you start hitting walls and you start dying and dying and dying, you've got to find ways to make sure that you don't die, because your AI characters, because there's you pick a character, and then there's 3 AI characters with you. You can switch to them, but obviously can only control one at a time. When you're not controlling them, they are like handing a controller to your little brother. They are shit. So you're forever reviving your own characters and wasting your revives. So then by the time that you go down, your revives are gone and you're dead. So you got to try and make sure you're protecting them as well as killing the bad guy. But it's great. I reckon it's really cool.
And how did it go as 2-player? Because you're playing with Rep, weren't you?
Yeah, Repamir jumped on with me, and it played really good. It was, the connection was solid. We didn't have any drops or lags or anything like that. And the only thing, the downfall is, and I suppose I couldn't really think of a better way for them to do it, but if you join me, you can only use the one character, your main character from your main game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas I can switch to the other 2.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, look, I suppose there's probably not any other real way to do that. But, yeah, it just sort of gives an advantage to the host, because the host can switch to the other characters, unless you're playing 4 players. If you're playing 4 players, then obviously you all get 1 character each. But, look, it's pretty cool. It's challenging. And there's a lot to do. Like the story is going pretty good, and there's going to be a lot of unlockables, a lot of collectibles, and a lot of good fun. If you're a fan of Lego games, you probably love this. It's basically Lego Marvel superheroes, but with better graphics and no Lego.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to jump into some Division 2 talk.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You got my permission.
You got your permission? That's good, because I was going to do it anyway.
Cool.
I had another crack at the raid last week, and I got on with some people from the Division A and Z clans, and we actually went reasonably well. So the first 2, I still haven't finished the raid yet, though. Unfortunately, it got to the stage where there's 4 bosses all up. The first boss I'd done a couple of times and knew how the mechanics worked, and was reasonably easy to get through that one. The second one, my build helped quite well, and just for me to actually be staying alive and whatnot, and we're able to get through that. And then we got to the third boss. Now the third
boss, is this
boss,
the last one?
No, there's 4 altogether.
4. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so the 4th boss is kind of a it's an automated.
Oh.
It's a prick, yeah. It's a big automated thing. It's not actual bosses, so to speak. It's like a big turret that you've got to do certain things to open up different areas, and it's just pain in the ass. Anyway, the third one is 2 of the warhounds, which are mechanical dogs that one has a Gatling gun, one has a sniper rifle attached to the back of them.
A dog with a Gatling gun and a sniper rifle.
One of them's got a Gatling gun, the other one's got the sniper. Yep. So they're mechanical dogs. They've just got they call them warhounds or whatever. So they're just like a 4-legged robot.
Robots, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I haven't seen the robots in the game at all. This is exclusive to the raid.
No. You haven't done the stronghold yet.
Okay.
So when you go through and do the strongholds, then the Black Tusk is the invading force. They come and invade everything, and they're the ones that have got all the top-notch stuff there.
So I've got robot dogs in my future.
You've got them in your future, yes.
Are you telling me that I bought the Division 4 months after it was released, the Division 2, that is, without the knowledge that they're robot dogs? You could have told me that week 2, and I probably would have bought it. You are the worst salesman.
I'm pretty sure. And what? You can't go and pet the things. They're trying to rip you a new arsehole.
Yeah, but it's robot dogs.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe you should have watched one of my streams.
I watched plenty of your streams, and all I saw was you die.
It wasn't that bad. Okay, sometimes it is.
My point is, if there's robot dogs in a game, you tell me. You tell me.
Okay.
I'll Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein. They're similar. They don't have they don't have a face or anything. They're just a 4-legged robot.
What is it? Just like a box with legs?
Pretty much, yeah. You know those ones you see on YouTube? They're trying to open a door and shit.
Yes. Yeah.
And then someone comes along and kicks it.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're pretty much those sorts of things with a gun on the back.
I've never seen any of that stuff. I mean, I've watched obviously your streams. I've seen other people's streams. I've seen videos on it. I've never seen any robot dogs in Division 2. We are talking about the Division 2, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I thought we moved on to Wolfenstein.
Oh, well, all right. Well, yeah.
Well, anyway, these two bosses, they're called Buddy and Lucy. Before I'd had a crack at them, I didn't know what everyone was whinging about because the people that I saw doing it were already well oiled and they were able to go through it nice and quickly. We weren't so well oiled, and it took me a little while to actually get the mechanic of how it works, and it is an absolute prick. So you've got Lucy, which has the Gatling gun, which does a 360, and it's a one-hit kill. If the gun hits you, it will drop you down. Doesn't matter. You know, any one of us. I've got decent armor and decent health, and it still just drops me. The big thing about it is you have to kill them, like take their armor away, both at the same amount. So
yeah, that's the one you were telling me about. So you need to evenly distribute the pain.
Yes. So you can't just go ballistic on one. So you can't just you've got 8 players there. If you could take down one at a time, you would just annihilate them. But the problem is...
that's not very realistic, though, is it?
No. Because what happens is if you get outside of this this sort of area that you've got to keep them in, then they go into what's called overcharge, where the 360 just goes nuts, and they both run back to the center area where they just re-heal and they get all their armor back.
And nothing does my head any more than a boss that heals. Oh,
yeah.
You're like, I've just spent 20 minutes putting you down and now that's gone. Oh,
yep. And everyone in the raid does that. Every boss does it. So that's probably the hardest bit, is that they can heal, and they heal exceptionally quickly. And yeah, you just once they get to the healing stage,
list of things I don't want to do. There we go. Let's put all the, running out of room on that list.
You'll go and see them, but then just walk away.
Oh, well, no, there should be these doggy things that aren't in the raid. Oh, yeah, those ones might be nicer.
They're running around everywhere.
Yeah, good. Cool.
We'll get to them soon. Well, mate, while you're going, Streets of Rogue. Rage?
No, Rogue. Right. Yeah,
Streets
of Rage is the old, like, Mega Drive game. No, I played Streets of Rogue, and it is a PC game. It's also on the Nintendo Switch. It could be on some other things, but I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm just here for the fun and the donuts. And what it is, Streets of Rogue is a top-down, old-school pixel art kind of game. And it's a roguelike game. Do you guys understand what a roguelike is? I think I might take that for granted, that some people might not understand. You got it, Snoogs? Greg?
Yeah, I know what it is. Doesn't it actually it calls back to a specific game?
Rogue Legacy.
That's the one.
Yes. And Greg, you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Sorry, he was still talking, so I just didn't want to talk over it.
You know what they are? You know what roguelikes are?
Yeah, they're like characterized by like dungeon crawlers and stuff like that.
No.
Explain it for everyone at home.
All right.
Subgenre of role-playing games. Yeah?
I'll give no, it's not. No, I'll give you a quick explanation. A roguelike game is a massive son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Right, so you weren't looking for the actual loon.
No,
Sure.
what it is, you'll pick a character. Okay, I want to be Jim Bob over there wearing the green sweater because it looks like that kind of weather at the moment. You take your character, you go and do your things, you do your missions, you get power ups. You're like, okay, so Jim Bob in the green sweater can now do this because he's leveled up and he does this and this, and you go do more missions. But then Jim Bob dies, and it's game over. He's dead. All of that upgrading, all of that fancy shit, gone. Start again. Pick a new character. Go and do
Next.
it again.
Yep.
Yeah. However, depending on the type of roguelike you're playing, sometimes these games will let you keep some of the upgrades. Maybe it might let you keep the currency that you've picked up or things like that. And that's what this game is like, Streets of Rogue. It's a very fun game, and it's kind of like it's a game that you could sort of just play in short bursts. If you put too much effort and time into a character, then it can be very punishing because you will lose it when you die. But if you play it just like a time waster, I'll play this until I die for 20 minutes or whatever, and then I'll put it down and come back again. It's actually a really cool game. Beautiful graphics. 4 pixel art, runs nice and smoothly, and it's got a lot of cool humor in it. Like if you go and punch the wrong person in the face, like just funny shit happens. Like there was one guy who was teaching me the tutorial, and he got so excited that I passed the tutorial that he fucking exploded and like blood and guts went everywhere. It's pretty funny.
Righto.
Pixelated blood and guts. Who doesn't like pixelated blood and guts? Come on.
That's always funny, yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of game. State of Decay 2, no, not okay, a little bit. State of Decay 2 is more of just a permadeath game, whereas this roguelike is a little different. But and the roguelike themes that sort of come from that original Rogue Legacy game, where some of the traits that you pick up will pass on to the next person, but not everything. So you do lose most of your progress, but not 100% of it. And all the levels are procedurally generated too, so they're always completely different. Pretty damn neat game.
Either of you guys heard of Getting Over It with what's he called?
Bennett Foddy or something? Bennett Foddy?
Bennett Foddy. Yeah.
I fucking do know about that one. Yeah.
You know about that game?
Oh yeah.
It's a punish. It's a punish from memory.
That's a shitter. Oh,
That's shit. That is just utter crap.
I agree.
Is that the one with the dude in the pod?
Yes. And the cauldron.
Look, I've never played it, but I've watched many people play it, and it's funny watching other people play it. I can't imagine what it'd be like playing the game.
I looked at it and went, okay, that's a bit weird, and I got it when I got a Humble Bundle, and I think it was the recent Humble Bundle that you and I both got, Luke.
Yeah, and it gives you the trove of like a whole bunch of games. Yep, that's where I played it too.
Yeah. So I got it, and I've seen other people like yourselves. I've seen people play it, and I thought, it looks a bit weird, but we'll have a go. And so I had a go, and that has got the dumbest friggin' control scheme ever.
Yeah, it's built to
designed
frustrate you.
It's
Yeah,
designed-
It is.
Yeah.
So you've got to use your mouse to swing the hammer around, and then you've got it, and it is so finicky to try and move anything. I don't know how anyone gets anywhere. And these people that are speed running the damn thing,
Oh yeah, and they're really good at it. So there's a knack to it, but it's a pain in the ass. If you really want to watch a funny YouTuber play that game, I recommend Jacksepticeye for this video. He goes insane. I actually felt a little bit for his mental state in those videos.
I watched Markiplier play this game. He played it over like 6-hour-long sessions or something like that. He is like 6 episodes or back to back, and yeah, you watch him like slowly lose his mind. Like when he falls, and you're just like, he's going to cry on screen. He is going to cry on screen, and he's slowly just coming apart at the seams.
I've also seen Markiplier play it as well, and he's another one that I felt for his mental health. That game is absolutely horrible. It is pure evil in a cauldron with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That game, Uncle Chunt, that's the one.
But I like how the narrator, supposedly the person who made the game, is very aware of what the game is like, and it says to you, if you're having a hard time, there's no shame in turning the game off and coming back later.
Yes, and he's got this very calm demeanor about himself. He just like, ugh.
Yeah, but the game actually recommends that you stop playing it.
Yep.
yeah. I could imagine that.
Yeah, that's a shit game. If you don't like a roguelike game, do not play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. Oh, Jesus. And does my memory serve me correctly? Does he have an Australian accent, the guy speaking?
It sounds familiar. Sounds a bit Australian.
I think it was an Aussie. I think it's an Aussie.
Possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, Aussie game.
And if you have a look in the chat right now, that's pretty much how I felt playing it.
Oh, yeah, putting it in the bin.
Let's see you later. Greg, your usuals, mate. Have you got anything update worthy on them?
Not specifically. Forza's Forza and Minecraft. I went back to survival this week just to change up speeds. I spent a fair amount of time in the Nether this week as opposed to up top. I was looking for a Nether fortress, and in the process decided to make a bunch of portals at X amount of spaces between them. So I had new places to pop up and try and check out new biomes, essentially, which worked nicely. So,
cool.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Minecraft, are you guys Lord of the Rings fans or nuts by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I know what you're about to talk about, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, for anyone that is a Lord of the Rings nut, it was not really up my alley, but I watched it anyway because it was cool. If you are aware of a YouTube channel called Corridor Digital, they actually released this week a video where they met up with a bunch of guys who's spent the last 10 years working on creating what I don't know, what would you call it? The whole Middle Earth. That's it. The whole Lord of the Rings setting in Minecraft, and they do like a tour, and they even they've put down little Hobbit footprints on the ground, which will show you the path that the Fellowship took when they did their journey.
So is it the whole realm? Is it?
Yeah, the whole realm.
I thought it was just the White Castle.
No.
Entire
realm.
It's the whole thing, man.
All right,
check out the video. I'll put a link to it. It's by Corridor Digital, and I love watching these Corridor Digital guys because they do a lot of VFX stuff, and they show how they do it, which is really interesting. I like it. And yeah, they did one on Minecraft and this whole Lord of the Rings thing. So if you're a Lord of the Rings fan and Minecraft, go and check it out.
I've been watching these guys that they've got their own server, and they just troll each other constantly. And they've made it is very much right up my alley, actually. And they've made like a giant Homer Simpson statue. They've all got their little houses, and so one guy was streaming, and he was in the realm. He wasn't in the Discord chat with anyone else. He was just streaming by himself, just talking to the chat and going through. And what they'd done is 3 other guys had built a cave and like their secret lair, and had dug miles and miles worth of tunnel and put a railway line in it, and had found where he was keeping one of his hidden caches, and this hidden cache had something like 150 diamonds in it. And so what they were doing was he was online and looking at doing stuff, and they've come in the back up underneath his secret spot and just taken everything out of it and then legged it, all while he's on stream, and then left all these little notes for him everywhere so that he could go and find
Sons of bitches.
and realize what they'd done. And it's actually quite hysterical to watch just what these guys are doing to each other. It's good. It's it's the guy I spoke about last week, H2O Delirious and his crew. Yeah. So it's quite funny. Lucas, A Way Out.
Yes, I finally finished that game, man.
You finished it?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Oh, good game. Oh,
Yeah.
very good game. That is so bloody good. It's hard to explain why it was good because there's not really anything groundbreaking. But I guess with experiencing it with somebody else, because A Way Out you can only play it co-op, and I played a fair bit of it with my nephew Reprimir, who came to my place last weekend, but we ran out of time and didn't finish it. But then we finished it online just a couple of nights ago, and look, it has a twist at the end. I'm not the best person. Yeah, it's got a twist. I'm not the best person at picking twists, and specifically because I don't go into a movie looking to work it out before it actually happens. So I never really pick it up. So then when a twist occurs, I'm like, "Oh, wow, that was really cool." Whereas there's people like my wife who constantly will analyze a movie all the way through and be like, "Yeah, I know what's going to happen." Oh, fuck, just enjoy the fucking movie. Don't spoil it for me even though you haven't seen it yet.
Must be a wife thing.
Yeah, yours does it too? Yeah, good.
And ask questions all the way through.
The ending to A Way Out was depending on how well you know Splinter Cell, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but the ending was very reminiscent of one of the storylines in Splinter Cell, and I'll say Archer and Kestrel, and that might mean something to some people, but it was so good. I mean, I want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil the specifics of it because it's really worth experiencing. You could probably pick it up real cheap now because I think it was only like $30 or $40 brand new when it first came out. Yep. But yeah, A Way Out, I absolutely recommend playing it. Some of the scenes are a little bit tedious, but first time through, it's not bad because you don't the conversation keeps it sort of fresh because the two characters will bounce off each other. You know, you're playing as two inmates that are escaping jail, and you know they have a little bit of banter backwards and forwards, and that keeps it fresh. But some of those scenes, if you replay them, because I did replay a couple of the chapters, can be a little bit grindy when you know what the conversation is, so it's not fresh. But first time through it, I think that grindy nature won't be there. There's heaps of really cool themes in it. Really cool gameplay. I actually said to Reprimir when we were playing it, this is the best B-grade game I've ever played. And definitely, well, nothing about it seemed like super amazing. Like it felt like an old game.
Yep.
But an old game that, say, if A Way Out was brought out 10 years ago, it probably would have got a lot more praise.
Yeah, it would have been Game of the Year and stuff like that. It would have been, you know.
Yeah, and you'd say today, geez, that game aged well.
Yeah.
But because it did come out recently, I think it probably got looked at a little bit like, oh, what is that? That doesn't look like, you know, current generation visuals. And
look, I think a lot of people just wrote it off as a gimmicky thing, especially with the co-op play.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it's a solid. It's got some really good solid mechanics for that co-op play. Like climbing up that shaft where you've got to time your together. That's
with the back-to-back.
Yeah, with the back-to-back. I mean, I can't imagine doing that online with someone. Like I did that with Rem, with her sitting right next to me, and even then we were like, there was a couple of times we were like, we're gonna fall. We didn't, but it's one of those things that takes timing, and it's easier when someone's sitting next to you.
And I've got to commend them for something that's typically not EA, because EA published this game, is that the game forces you to play it in co-op, right? You cannot play this game in single player.
No.
But which kind of makes me think that, EA, they're going to make you buy 2 copies of it. But they don't. You only one person out of 2 needs to own the game. Because the second person, so if it's my game and I want to play with you, Greg, you just download the demo and I send you an invite to join my game and you can play the whole game with me. That's how that works. You just can't play it on your own with somebody else unless you buy it. But if you play it with somebody that owns the game, you play the entire game. So I reckon kudos for that. And I don't know who the developer is. I can't remember. I don't know how they managed to convince EA that they weren't going to charge for the second copy. I just don't get it.
So who did you play as?
I played as Vincent.
Vincent, who's the thin young dude, right?
No, that's Leo. Leo's the the older dude then. Yep. Yeah, the older guy. So Leo's the dude with the big schnoz, Gonzo. Yep. And then Vincent, I played the other guy with the goatee.
Yep. I played as Vincent as well. So was the ending? Were you torn over the ending? I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, massively.
Yes,
absolutely.
I like I said, I was playing with Deb next to me, and we looked at each other and were like, how do we do this? The game is making me do something I don't want to do. No, it was good. And it's Hazelight Studios was the developer.
Oh, there you go. Never heard of them. But but that's the sort of emotions that it actually brought home. It was
totally.
It was pretty heartfelt, considering it builds those 2 characters so well through the whole game. It does. Where you meet each other's family, some things happen, they grow on you. Yes. And even though these guys they're broken out of jail, they're criminals. You feel for them. You get their side of the story. You see where they come from, and you have that connection. So it's a fantastic game. A Way Out, very good. I recommend it.
Yeah, totally.
Alrighty, guys. I think that's it for Game Talk. Let's. No one else has thought of any as we've been tooling along. No. Alrighty. Well, let's jump into some news. Luke, I'm going to leave your big news until the last one.
Okay.
But I'm going to start it off with letting your nerd shine, because this past weekend, of course, we've had Comic-Con.
Are you a nerd?
A little bit. just a tad. So there's a whole list of trailers that I will quickly go through that have all been released. But there's one that I wanted to spend some time on and ask if you've watched it, and that is the Witcher trailer.
I did watch this.
Yeah, I saw some things talking about it today, but I didn't watch it.
Well then, Greg, what did you think of it?
All right. So let me preface this by saying...
Have you played The Witcher?
I was about to say, let me preface this by saying I've actually never played The Witcher.
Okay.
It's weird. No, that's not true. It is up my alley. But so Rem's got it, and it was always a case of I wanted to, but it just never eventuated. It came out in a time where I had a bunch of games to play and just so little time to play them all. Anyway, having said that, from what I know of it, a lot of people that have had criticism about this trailer has done so because it's not like the game, and everyone's like, because it's based on the books, not the game. So I get the feeling that me not having played the game is probably not a big disadvantage. So looking at it, it looks pretty good. Like, it looks like it's going to be another hit for Netflix. Let's put it that way.
Well, look, I've got a question. Is Siri in the trailer?
Yes.
No, not you.
Yes.
I
I wonder how many people's phones are going to go off listening to this. That's going to be
All right.
awesome.
For the sake of not asking the question again, because I don't want to say the word, is she in it? Is she in the trailer?
Yes.
Okay, is she massively hot?
She's a child.
Oh, is she?
So,
Like
you
it.
know,
Well,
you're weirdo.
Wait, how old is she?
Early teens at most, I'd say.
Ah, that's rubbish. Not interested.
So I've played all the Witches. I've played a butt ton of the latest one.
I didn't know she was a kid in it. I haven't seen the trailer.
No, that's fine. That's why that's just corrected you. Besides, you can edit that bit out later. So yeah, it's a lot of the criticism has come from people who have played The Witcher 3 and realised the characters are very different. Or I should say the way the characters look are very different. Ciri's obviously younger. The only thing that I don't like, Henry Cavill seems to fit.
No. Cavill.
Cavill.
We've had this conversation.
Yeah, probably. That's Henry Cavill
Thank you.
fits as Geralt, but he's a little too clean cut. He's a little too Legolas, going back to the Lord of the Rings, with the
Come on,
flowing,
he's
the
not that
flowing
pretty.
white hair. There's a few shots where
That's what
he is a
that's
Witcher,
what Geralt
but
is.
no, but he's also gruff. He's unshaved, unkept. But it's just there's just that's probably the only thing. He does look a little bit too much like a Lord of the Rings elf.
I have to watch it because I can't
some of
argue
the
because I
bits.
don't know.
Yeah,
To be fair, Legolas would need to have like 500% more jawline to be anything like this.
and just sheer body size. He's definitely got the physique for it. And but the story itself, it looks very dark. It's very much The Witcher from the stories itself. So I personally can't wait for it.
Is there a bathtub scene?
Apparently, yes, there is.
Apparently, yes. Yeah.
What about a scene with a stuffed unicorn?
I've not heard confirmation of that so far.
The bathtub has been confirmed.
The bathtub has
Bathtub's
been confirmed.
Yes.
Oh, naked Henry Cavill, here we come. I know Uncle Chunt is going giddy at the knees for that one.
All right. Well, quickly, just to run through the other ones, because I don't think there's really anything else gaming related, so to speak. We got a rundown for It Chapter 2, which looks awesome. Lucas,
Every time I see news on that, it confuses me because I see the word "it" as in part of the sentence. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Oh, it. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. It for someone that is terrified of clowns, the fact that I find the It movies brilliant and I love them, it's just weird. Anyway, I think they're fantastic. Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, how good is that trailer?
I know.
Oh,
Lucas hasn't seen the original Top Gun.
No, I
What?
haven't seen the original Top Gun.
you need to come over and we need to educate you. Oh my goodness! I did
feel
this
I
with
may
my
be
wife.
violated.
When I met my
You
wife,
might be by the end of it.
I said, mention Top Gun. She goes, I've never seen it. And I went, no, stop. We're putting this on hold. You're coming over right now. And we're going to sit and watch it because I couldn't have my wife not seen Top Gun.
Yeah, I don't know. See, Top Gun just always appeared to me as like an 80s rom-com. Like it's a romantic
Have you
movie.
seen Hot Shots?
Yes, I have seen Hot Shots.
Well, you've pretty much seen it then. Okay,
I've pretty much seen it, yeah. I'll probably, if I ever do watch Top Gun, I will probably be like, Hey, I know that scene. I know that scene from Hot Shots.
There's another thing I can guarantee. You'll get to the end of it and go, that was straight up the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's what I reckon's going to happen. But is there a scene in Top Gun where they're riding horses?
No.
Okay, I thought that was from Top Gun.
But there is a beach volleyball scene that is like mega gay.
Yes.
I work with a dude that used to be in the Navy, and he's like that's he goes, I love it, but it is like the biggest Navy gay sailor movie I've ever seen. It's crazy.
Yeah, maybe one day.
But to be fair, this new trailer, let's get back to the point. The new trailer is awesome, and it looks like it's going to have a lot of love for the old movie. Just by looking at the images that flash up during and dude, that first bit where he's just
flying across the desert floor.
It's like so cool.
Why are we talking about movies anyway? Are we branching out?
Anyway, well, it's because Comic-Con was on. I'm just running through them. Terminator Dark Fate looks awesome. We won't get into it because I could talk for hours on that. Rick and Morty Season 4, we got trailer.
Woo!
Harley Quinn, a new DC comics movie. My Hero, don't know, kid. Steven Universe, meh. Dark Crystal.
Yeah, it's getting a Netflix flavor as well, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I'll take that. Watchmen is probably another one that's pretty cool. You've got the usual stuff from CW. And then the last one, which is my ultimate nerd out thing, Star Trek Picard.
All right. That's the origin story, isn't it?
No, it's not an origin story. It's set, 20, 30 years after Jean-Luc Picard, the captain of the Enterprise, stepped down. And he gets called back in to do something. So there wasn't a lot released, and I haven't looked into it because I just saw it and went, oh my God! And then, yeah, I've watched it like 3 times, but still just fangirled over it just a little bit. Yeah, cool. So that's pretty much all of them. It was a good Comic-Con, as always. Oh, and Jay and Silent Bob rebooted. I nearly forgot that one. All right, cool. Well, let's jump into some other news. Grejio in control.
So, sad news. Jeff Robinson, who's more popularly known as In Control, who was a StarCraft pro player as part of the Evil Geniuses group, and then went on to become an esports commentator, has died at the age of 33. It was unexpected due to sudden illness. It happened a couple of days ago. I think it was a couple of days ago. But anyway, it's not as important as the fact that, unfortunately, he's died. So that's kind of sad, and it's a loss to the community, both in esports and in StarCraft. He was a big name. So,
shame.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no details on what it was that he was sick with. It was just reported that it was unexpected and it was a sudden illness. So so it's too young. It's too young.
Yeah.
33. That's younger than me. It's younger than all of us. As Chunt says, that's him. So it's very sad. Anyway, our thoughts and whatnot go out to the family.
Exactly. Alrighty, mate. I'm going to jump into a petition to ban someone on Twitch is doing the rounds.
Who are we banning?
A streamer by the name of Alinity.
Oh, is this chick that abuses a cat?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm on top of this, actually. Here's a bit of, bit of news.
So Alinity she's been she's pretty much profiting from controversy. So there's a big thing about her that she's been doing stuff on stream where if a guy does something similar, he gets banned, but she's not, and there's obviously lots of things in the background going on. She is a Twitch partner, and it's just weird, the circumstances around it. So what was happening was she was playing Apex Legends Her cat climbed up onto her lap. She picked it up, threw it over her head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. She's also in the past kissed her cat, so to speak. And this is a real life cat. It's not a
Hang on,
euphemism.
wait. So to speak. Either she kissed it. What do you mean?
No,
so to
well,
speak,
she kissed it and spat vodka into its mouth.
Yeah. So,
No.
look, the things that she's done to the cat, I can see why people look at it and go, oh, that's like abuse of the animal. Although, without sounding like a bit of a heartless arsehole, I don't think she's hurting the cat, but it's still not a good way to treat an animal. If you toss a cat over your shoulder, it's not going to hurt the cat. Those things jump off houses and buildings and shit, and they're fine. But it's a bit of a shit go to do that, especially to broadcast doing that sort of stuff. The amount of vodka that was in her mouth that the cat would have got, I mean, it's not going to hurt the cat. The cat obviously tasted it and it was like, oh, that's disgusting, and ran away. But it's not going to hurt the cat. But still, this kind of behaviour, it's probably not the right thing to be live streaming. I mean, probably...
This is the thing here. She has also kicked her dog.
Okay, now get her off.
Now it's about the dogs. Get her off.
Yeah, no,
Now,
look,
when
no,
I say kicked her dog, she didn't boot it.
right.
The dog was chasing after the cat, and she reached out with her foot and gave it the little, hey, knock it off sort of thing.
Oh.
So it wasn't like she laced into the thing, but it's just this is all stuff she's done on stream. And of course, the bleeding hearts of the world have gotten together, and they've gone on to change.org, because we all know how many people take that seriously. And they've started up a petition to get her banned.
Well, Uncle Chunt's correcting me here, saying alcohol in small amounts can place cats into a coma. Shit, I didn't know that. There you go.
Oh, well, yeah, I did not know that either.
Well, yeah, look, I mean, it's not something that I would do, but I didn't know it would be that bad. But yeah, look, it is abuse. Although to me, before this information, I didn't think it was all that bad. But yeah, turns out it is. That's pretty shit.
It's poison to a cat. There you go. Yeah.
I'm sure we've all smacked our pets, like cut it out, or like while they're like, if my two dogs, when they were quite new, they would get into scraps. They would never hurt each other, but they would be going at each other, and you just grab them both and just give them a mad push and send them flying, sort of thing, and get them to cut it out.
Come back for another one. Yeah,
give them a bit of a shock to the system. But yeah, when you sort of, that's okay if it's a little bit of discipline, but poisoning your cat, I don't really like cats, but I wouldn't hurt them. That's a shit go. Yeah, get her off. I reckon that's rubbish.
The big thing about this, so the US version of the RSPCA, Peter, whatever they are, Peter's jumped on board. There's all this stuff on board. She's come out with a big apology. She didn't think it was too much of a thing. Looking at a picture of her sitting in a secret lab chair, she's an absolute midget. So I don't think she'd have all that much strength to throw a cat to a position where it could, really hurt itself. She's probably just more put it on the ground behind her. But it's, yeah, there's a lot of controversy going on around it, and because she's done stuff in the past that has sort of gone unpunished, so to speak.
Simple thing: don't throw anything that is living.
Yeah.
just don't
It's
do
a pretty
it.
good general rule, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a pretty general
rule.
Right. So
Speaking of throwing cats,
speaking of throwing cats, so obviously ever since Apex came into being, people have tried to cheat and get better, and so this week there's been some light on who is it that makes this game? I forgot. Respawn, that's it. They've been talking about how they're gonna better deal with cheats and their anti-cheat systems. So obviously they talked about they're gonna create new detection systems, adapt with the new cheats being created, and devote more resources to catching up with these people, but in an effort to dissuade people from cheating, instead of banning them, they're going to start grouping people into groups of cheaters and non-cheaters. And the cheaters get to go play with other cheaters, and the non-cheaters get to play without them. Hoping that cheaters getting a taste of their own medicine from other cheaters might encourage people to not do it anymore.
Well, yeah, this isn't something new. This is something that GTA 5 actually did with the dunce hat. I think it was. Was it GTA 5 or 4? It was one of them where, they just took all the cheaters and put them into a cheating lobby, so to speak, and they had to play against their own cheaters. But I think this might be a good idea going forward to actually make separate lobbies for cheaters. So don't throw them there when they do the wrong thing. Give them the choice. So just on the main menu, I want to play online, cheats enabled, and just go in there and you can hack the shit out of it as much as you like, but that's what's going to happen in there. And then obviously the normal one where you can go in and if you cheat, you are banned. I think that could be a good idea going forward for multiplayer games.
It'll have a 7-day battle royale because everyone's got God mode on.
No one dies. They're all standing there. The storm's not hurting them or anything.
It circles down to like 1 pixel and everyone's standing on top of each other. So attached to this, they're suggesting that players make sure that they're not in a party with anyone who's cheating, because apparently the way the system works, it will highlight you as a cheater as well. And the idea of this is to stop people from getting a third-party advantage from cheaters.
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, if I play with somebody that's cheating and they annihilate everybody, I'm getting advantage from that. Exactly. Should I be getting away with that?
Well,
no. Not if you're aware that they're cheating. No.
Yeah, that's right. No, I think there might need to be. Look, they're going to have to do some, I guess, due diligence on their end to make sure that they're not, because if there's matchmaking and you get match made with, you may not necessarily know what they're doing.
Well, I think there would be an allowance for that. I don't think that they would do that guilty by association with a match made game. But if you've partnered up, so if you've gone in with somebody and done matchmaking, and one of the people that isn't part of your little duo, if they're cheating, I'm pretty sure you're not going to get in trouble. But if it's one of you guys that are, then you both should get in trouble. And the general consensus is, if you're in a private little party and join in, you should have half an idea if your mate is cheating or not.
Yeah, exactly.
It is going to sting some innocent people, but it's collateral damage.
Yep.
I like Uncle Chunt's theory. It's too difficult. Off with their heads.
I know.
Get rid of all of them.
But see, I would like the idea of a cheating server, because I enjoy cheating in single player games because it's fun to just muck around with the game. But obviously, I don't want to ruin somebody else's game from it. But I'd still like to use some cheats and mods and all that sort of stuff, where currently I can only do that in single player stuff. But anyway, whatever they decide, it's their game.
Yep.
I can see the appeal of cheating.
Yeah, well, I get no satisfaction if I win from cheating, but the fun is just mucking around, just doing whatever you feel like doing. I can jump off this cliff and fly the whole length of the whole map if I want to, just for fun, and it looks cool. That's it, really. But yeah, if I kill somebody because I got God mode on, I'm not going to think that I'm the best player in the world. You just cheated, dude. It's stupid.
After being ganked by a group of 8 people in the dark zone, if I could turn on a cheat and go and take them out and then teabag each and every one of them, I'd be happy.
Yeah, but that's ruining somebody else's game.
Well, they just ruined my game.
Yeah, but within the confines of the rules, then, well, although they did ruin your game, they didn't do anything wrong.
No.
It's easy for me to have that sort of sensible reaction to what you're explaining, because it hasn't happened to me. But I get where you're coming from. You just, you do want to just ruin their lives. But you just got to get good, scrub.
Death. Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. Got to try and get that 1v8 back up.
I can't get good. That's why I don't play it.
Yeah. Well, Greg, how about you keep going, mate, with some Todd McFarlane news?
Todd McFarlane was, what's the word I'm looking for? Approached by the guys who make Mortal Kombat and asked him if they could put Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11. Which his answer was yes, but on one condition. He said, please don't try and make a Spawn that will make Spawn fans happy. He goes, I want you to make a Spawn that Mortal Kombat fans are happy with. He goes, I want someone to come in, play your game, have no idea who this Spawn guy is, but he is now my favorite character because he can do X, Y, Z. And he goes, if you could do that, you'll make a lot of Spawn fans happy. And this dude is really pumped about this game. I watched an interview with him. He is super psyched about this game, how excited he is about his character being in this game. But just generally, Mortal Kombat 11, he obviously being who he is quite into a lot of things that are very macabre. And this game is, well, you know.
It's up there.
It's up there. It's everything that he probably loves in the world. Blood, death, mayhem. And yeah, look, so Spawn is coming to Mortal Kombat 11.
That's pretty cool, but I really, as opposed to playing as Spawn, I would actually really like to play as that like big fat dude that John Leguizamo plays in the movie.
What's his name?
I don't know. It's a weird name, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it is. I'll look it up. Hang on.
I can't remember it, but anyway, big, massive, rotund thing. He would be cool to play.
Why doesn't McFarlane just design him himself? Like, the man's got the skill to do it. Like, here's your visual for the character model I want you to use.
Well, to be fair,
is he talking as a visual thing or as a move list sort of thing?
No, he literally goes, you guys are pushing the limits on your characters and what they can do. He goes, I want you to go crazy with my character, with the things he can do and the way he looks and all that jazz. He goes, the only criticism you'll get from me is you didn't go hard enough on the wild shit. So expect, he's going to be flashy looking and violent as hell.
I think that's more him being confident in what he knows of Mortal Kombat and its creators. Yeah. From what they make, Mortal Kombat, they make good characters. And I think his point was, don't go out of your way to try and make something that I would like. Yep. You've already made characters that are awesome. You'd make it that way. You make it that fits your game, and that'll keep everyone happy because your game's awesome. I think that's the point.
And he said from what he's already seen, he goes, clearly there are already some Spawn fans who are making this game, because he said, like, everything that they've made for this character so far is somehow tied up in the lore, because he's like, they come up to me and say, look, he's going to do this, and it's referenced to comic issue, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I wrote the damn comics. And he goes, I've forgotten this stuff, but these people are like remembering and dragging this stuff out and putting it into the game. And he goes, it's freaking awesome. So,
by the way, John Leguizamo was the Violator.
Violator, yeah.
Oh, is that his? Oh, I was way off. I couldn't even think of it.
I think he has another name in the movie. There's some other dumb name he has.
Yeah, it was a dumb name. That's what I'm thinking. It was like a really stupidly kind of name.
Alrighty. Well, Lucas, do you want to finish us off with the Xbox One S discless?
I would love to finish you off, but...
Oh, jeez. This night just started like that, didn't it? It just keeps on going.
No. Pussy everywhere and all that sort of stuff sort of got us on edge. All right, so the big news of today is the Xbox One S All Digital Edition is now available for pre-order. Calm down, everyone. I know you're all sliding off your seats in anticipation for the discless Xbox One S, but it's available now for pre-order. Now, the big
Not
thing.
from EB Games.
Wait, huh? Oh, yeah, no, EB Games haven't got it listed. Well, as of this morning, EB Games didn't have it listed on their website, which I thought was really strange. JB Hi-Fi do, but EB Games obviously will have it. Their website's just a bit behind.
Apparently they're not.
Oh, they're not getting it?
They're getting dirt.
I've read a couple of things today where they're not supporting. Well, they're not stocking it.
Oh, okay.
So
actually, I did in the information I was sent from Microsoft today. They did only list Harvey Norman and JB Hi-Fi.
JB, yep.
Okay, well, that's probably good. EB Games probably didn't want to stock it because their price would have been more expensive than the Xbox One S with the disc. Although the efforts from the other stores aren't that much better. So the biggest issue that I have with the Xbox One S or digital edition, stupid name, so long, because I actually have one sitting right next to me. Microsoft sent it out to me, and who knew things got delivered on Sundays? That's really weird. Have you ever had a delivery on Sunday?
No.
I can't say I have.
Yeah, I had a delivery guy knock on the door and he had my Xbox and said, here you go. I'm like, oh, thanks. Anyway, so I've looked into it. I've pulled it apart. No, I didn't pull it apart. Sorry, I opened it, unboxed it. And there's a video on the Aussie Gamers Experience YouTube channel of me opening it up. So you can go and have a look at an Xbox One S on the discless one. Anyway.
The sad one.
The biggest disappointing part is that an Xbox One S, the one with the disc, is $380.
Mm-hmm.
Take $30 off that and you can have one without a disc drive.
Yep.
$30. Last week or the week before, whenever it was, I was cracking it because the Switch Lite was only $70 cheaper than the normal Switch.
Can you also go back last week and EB Games with their sale of the Xbox One S with the disc with 4 games and the 1 terabyte hard drive was $299 or $289 or something.
Oh, really? Was it?
It was cheap, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you can quite often pick up, I think at the moment currently from Amazon, you can buy a 1S for, around that $300 mark.
Yeah. Well, look, Uncle John is I think trying to be Switzerland here and say, to be fair, it's 1 terabyte and you get 3 games with the SAD edition, but you also get a a subscription to Game Pass, which has all of those 3 games in it anyway. It's $30.
How long's the subscription for?
You know what? I don't remember. Do you want me to have a look?
And to be fair,
I'm
one
just
terabyte's nothing as well, because my potato has 1 terabyte.
Well,
So.
yeah, but the 1 terabyte Xbox One S with the disc is, it has 1 terabyte as well. That was what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Let's see how long. Yeah, it's only 1 month. It's a 1 month code. But look, I think that the Xbox One S, the discless one, I've said it that many times I can't remember the name of it. The discless Xbox is a bloody good idea, but it needs to be viable. And it needs to be a lot cheaper than $30, because I mean, I speak as somebody who can afford the extra $30, Some people would probably see that and every little bit counts. And that $30 might be 3 months of gold for them, so it can be important. But I think I can speak for most people that are going to spend this amount of money on a console can go the extra 30. Wait another week and save up, Extra $30 and you're going to get a disc.
Wait another week and there'll be a sale.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. And when you have a look at it, and I think as well, it's a good idea. It's not a good idea for myself personally, because I still do have a lot of things on disc. But for a lot of people that have it and enjoy it for Game Pass and whatnot, then that's fantastic. But it needs a better price point. And you know what? With the Australian retailers, that's what seems to be the issue. Every bit of information that I've read, I had this as part of my news for tonight as well. Every bit of information that I've read, everybody is complaining about the price point.
Well, that's the only thing that doesn't make this thing viable. See, for me personally, I've got one of the old original Xbox Ones in my bedroom. Okay, I don't use the disc. I literally use it if I'm going to bed early and I want to watch a bit of YouTube or a bit of Netflix as I'm going to bed. That's literally all I use because I don't have a TV antenna in there. And I don't play games when I'm in bed. I don't even have a controller connected up to that. It's literally just the remote control, the infrared remote control that I use. And this would be perfect for that, and for people that are going to do the same thing and get a subscription to Game Pass to get all their games, because you're going to get all your first-party games included. You don't need the disc drive. But if it's only $30 more, you may as well get it. You may as well. If you never use it, you never use it, but you may as well.
Yeah, but this is the thing too. You pay that extra $30, you get a 4K disc drive.
Yeah. But like I said, but what the point I'm making is, even if you don't use it, it's there just in case. Yeah. Maybe someone comes over and goes, "Here, watch this." You know, so it's
here's a Blu-ray to watch. Here's a something to, that's exactly what it is. It's just the disc has adds a lot of extra features to it.
Yeah,
but without it, you've got someone or one of the kids or a second console, whatever. It's a great idea, but again, I think the price point needs to come down a bit.
Yeah. Radicus is asking a question: is it physically smaller? No.
Nope.
The Xbox One S All Digital Edition is exactly the same as an Xbox One S, minus the disc drive. They put a flat panel on the front, so there's no slot. That's the difference, and it's half a kilo lighter. That's it. There is nothing. Nothing else has changed. There's no design changes at all. But yeah, see, if it was $250 for the discless and $380 for the 1S, I think that's great guns. That would be perfect. Even if it was $270 and it was $100 cheaper, you're done. Leave it. That's the way it should be. And you will sell the discless ones, because I think
I was
there's a
thinking
market for
$299.
Look, even
I was thinking
$299.
I was thinking around that 300 mark.
Yeah, I think that would be a magic mark too. And then when they're on special, you sell the 1S with the disc for $300, and you do $200 special for the discless. And they will walk out the door as a secondary console. Even people that already have consoles will go, "I want one of them in my bedroom," but because it's cheaper, I'm not going to use the discs. I'll get the cheaper one and put that in the bedroom. The marketing's there. I don't get it. I don't know. Obviously, Microsoft are testing the waters to see how expensive they can sell it for. Because in the end, they are a business.
Find a spot. Yeah.
Yeah. But I reckon the price will drop quickly, because they won't. I don't think they'll sell very well at $350.
At $350 with 12 months Game Pass, then you're talking more.
Yeah. Well, that's good value too. But anyway, I was just saying to you that I've got an Xbox One S
sitting right there.
All digital edition. Yes. It says on the box it's 1 terabyte. It's got the disc. It's got a picture of a disc with a line through it, like no smoking, because it's got no disc. Ultra 4K or 4K Ultra HD, obviously through Netflix, and a controller and all that sort of stuff. This was delivered to me on Sunday, as I said, how weird, from Microsoft. They've given that to us to give to you. So there's a giveaway running at the moment. So I've made a little Discord thingy in our Discord channel, text channel thing, which has like terms and conditions and how to enter. And you've got to head across to the Twitter account that's on there and follow the instructions. There's a video. You watch it, enter, get us all your entries in, because there's obviously opportunities for extra entries. And this little baby could be sent all the way to your front door. And there's also a couple of runner-up prizes for that, mind you, thanks to Radicus. Thank you very much, Radicus, who sent us out a couple of things that I don't really want to give away because they're pretty awesome collector's items. One of them is a PlayStation 2 Game Guru beanbag. Okay, and it's limited edition. This is like item number 999. And that's there, brand new, sealed. And also a Borderlands 3 promotional poster that I think Radicus must have swiped from his old employer. But he sent that across to us as giveaways. So there's 3 prizes there. Obviously, the major prize being the Xbox One S. So it's all up there for you guys to win. I'll put some links in the show notes so you can go across and enter the competition, or not really a competition, but the giveaway ends on the 8th of August, 2019 at midnight.
So that's on the YouTube channel, Discord, Facebook, anywhere
Twitter.
and everywhere. Twitter.
Yes.
Check it all out. So I think that's it for the show, boys.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've exhausted our lists of stuffs.
Awesome. Well, let's jump into some last words. All right, Grejio, some last words from you this week. Tyson versus Bison.
Yes. So I was trawling through the internet and I found an article which talked about how Mike Tyson, for the last 28 years, has been completely blind to the fact that Balrog exists in Street Fighter 2. And
Right.
considering if you
Balrog
don't...
was modelled after him.
Exactly. So as the story goes, Balrog, when he was being developed for Street Fighter 2, originally had the name M. Bison, which the M stands for Mike Bison. And he was modelled off Mike Tyson through a bit of a switcheroo, because so originally they had 3 characters, M. Bison, Balrog, and Vega. They were not who you think they were when they were first made. M. Bison was Balrog, Balrog was Vega, and Vega was what was eventually M. Bison. The reason they switched all those names around was to avoid some legal dodginess when it came to Mike Tyson / M. Bison. Anyway, he found out he was doing an interview with someone on ESPN or something like that, and they asked him if he was aware of Mike Tyson, of Balrog, and he obviously got a little excited about the fact that there's this character that kind of looks a little like him, and originally had his a version of his name, but I think in the end to quote him, he said, "I'm really honored with that impersonation of me." So yeah, I just thought it was a funny moment in life. I can't imagine it's hard to believe that someone wouldn't know who Balrog is, but for 28 years, but I guess not everyone floats around in the same circles we do. So
that's right. If it was somebody we knew, we'd be like, what? But
What?
yeah, I'm sure if you ask my dad, he's going to be like, what?
What? Yes.
And then he'll turn up his hearing aid and then he'll go, what?
Or in Mike Tyson's way, he'd probably turn up Evander Holyfield's ear and go, what?
Oh dear, what a strange creature that bloke is.
Yep. Anyway, I just thought it was funny.
But I'd never tell him.
No. For the size and shape of that dude, he has a weird voice.
Oh, doesn't he? A big, massive dude that sounds like a mouse.
Yes. But, never tell it to his face.
Nope. No, he can sound however he wants.
You're a very manly sounding dude.
Thank you.
It's like Michael Jackson stuck in there.
Yeah, it's just coming out the throat, did weird things then. Alrighty, mate. Well, some other last words. Aussie Gamers TV and Snooger Vision over on Twitch. Don't forget to come and say good day. And for the sexiest Instagram account going around, Grejio XBL. That is if you like cars. If you like boobs, look elsewhere. That's it, boys. How about we close it up? We all good?
Let's do it. Yep, let's do it.
All right. Thank you very much to everyone that's listened to the show, and especially those that are still listening this far along. a super special thanks to our live listeners who are chatting away and, as always, putting in some wonderful bits of information. And there's a bit of love going on in there tonight.
It
It's
has
quite
been
good to see.
quite comfortable. Some cuddles, virtual cuddling.
Virtual hugs. So in there we've got Pickles of Brian, Radicus, Skrill, and Uncle Chunt. So thanks a lot, guys. It's always great to have you with us. Grejio, thanks for joining me.
My
As well
pleasure.
as yourself, Lucas.
No worries. It's been a blast, boys.
Good stuff. To all of our listeners, feel free to continue any of the topics we've discussed on this show on our Facebook page or Discord channel. The links are all below in the show notes. That's it from me. As always, I've been Snoogs.
I've been Lucas.
And I have been Grejio.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Whew. Okay, that's the end of this week's podcast. And if you found yourself shouting at your speakers in disgust or maybe even in pleasure, make your way over to our Discord server and make a comment in the appropriate channel. Failing that, you can also have your say over on our Facebook page, or you can just tweet at us. Searching for the Aussie Gamers Experience will usually lead you in the right direction, but you could just use the set of links that are in the show description. This podcast is available through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, and plenty more. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode of the official podcast of the Aussie Gamers Experience.